Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
This is 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review-Journal.
Thanks for joining us on 7 at 7 tonight. I'm Marlette Youssef. We begin with top stories sponsored by Nevada Hand Silver Sky Assisted Living Community. Learn more at nevadahand.org. A self-proclaimed First Amendment auditor and YouTuber will remain in jail while he appeals a 180-day sentence. RJ's Lena Bleets explains why his bail was denied.
Jose DeCastro was sentenced to 180 days in jail last month by Las Vegas Justice of the Peace Ann Zimmerman for obstructing a police officer and resisting arrest. The 49-year-old was accused of interfering with a Metropolitan Police Department officer during a traffic stop by refusing to back up when he was filming. In a hearing today, DeCastro was looking to receive bail while he appeals his conviction, but that request was denied. While in jail, DeCastro has called into a live stream hosted on his YouTube channel where he talked about Zimmerman and stated, quote, "I do not know how she can sleep at night." He also said he took, quote, "full responsibility for being sent to jail."
Hello world, today is May 1st, 2024. My name is Chille DeCastro. I'm a journalist who's been wrongfully imprisoned in the Clark County Detention Center. Please send in your petition to the Clark County Courthouse care of Ann Zimmerman and tell her to release me in the name of justice. It is absolute tyranny that I'm in this jail. Today is an open letter to the traditional or legacy media that has been covering and following this case. I would like to ask you now, if you're going to write about me, do it right and tell the whole story. So far, you printed twice that I called the bailiff a pig. Yes, I did. He behaved as one, and if I could do it again, I wouldn't have said that in the court of law. But why don't you talk about my endless devotion to teaching the rule of law and how I teach that the rule of law is the only standard in any democratic society that could possibly work? Why don't you talk about the reason why I'm known and why millions of people watch my videos and participate with me every single day? I've been locked in this dungeon for 6 weeks, and you guys have not covered that the last 10 cases that Ann Zimmerman tried with the exact same NRS codes, she did not put anybody in jail. Why haven't you talked about that? I am known because in 2020 I built a timeline called The History of Institutional Racism, and I put it on a wall made of paper and glue. I'm known because when I started on TikTok, 100 million people watched my videos in the first month alone that I started teaching. Further than that, I teach the foundation of law, going back to understanding what the social contract is, the first being written by Thomas Hobbes, and then on to the social contract written by John Locke. So the social contract literally means the rule of law. Not only am I all for the rule of law and do I teach it, I believe as Thomas Hobbes taught in his 1651 book called Leviathan, without the rule of law, it would be Bellium Omnium Comptet Omnes, which stands for a war of all men against all men. We must live with the rule of law. That the main virtue of this life is morality, and that morality is a man's right to think. If you do not think, then you are not alive. You are a sack of meat, giving up your arms and limbs and actions to the will and the policy of another person. Your life is not your own. You have been bought, paid for. Just don't think and let another person's policy control you, and you've given up life. Additionally, you keep printing that I confirm what Ann Zimmerman was saying about me, and that's not true. In the courtroom, when I looked at Ann Zimmerman and I gave her 2 thumbs up, it was not in agreement with her, but I was mocking her ridiculous statements she made about me. She was speaking for me on my behalf. I have not said the things she said. I do not endorse her summary of me. Look at the source, a tyrannical, unprincipled, biased judge. Yes, I have said that I do hate cops, but I don't hate the man. I don't hate all people. I don't hate humanity. I love humanity. What I despise is men who have turned off their brains and repeat despotic statements like torture cuffs aren't supposed to be comfortable. We could change torture cuffs right now with the camera. Most people, over 90%, are never going to attack a cop. Even higher, 98% of people are not going to attack a cop. Officer safety has created a slave chaining operation that too many have just simply blindly accepted, and we can change it right now. With the use of camera and tracking devices, we could get rid of slave chain cuffing people immediately about my ideas instead of just trying to paint me bad? Why doesn't the legacy media mention the countless hours I've devoted for calling for nonviolence and the fact that I've stated numerous times that if I witnessed the cop being attacked and losing, I would step in, help him, and I would stop that? Why? Because rule of law must not fall. We must adhere to rule of law or we turn into a lawless society full of barbarians. However, we must uphold the rule of law even if these people who call themselves law enforcers are cold, callous, and inhumane. We must end the phrase, turn around and put your hands behind your back. We must end chaining people up and use chains for only people who are criminally insane. Let me explain something to you. The reason why millions of people watch my channel and learn from me, and the reason why I say I hate the bad cops, is because of this system, this awful, horrible system of turn around and put your hands behind your back. That people agree with me. If you've never been put in torture cuffs, and I mean putting them hard, then you don't understand. The torture cuff companies are multi-billion-dollar corporations with a stranglehold on our police, on our politicians, and on our way of life. Here's how it works. They pay for the politician's campaign, and then the politician puts in the bill that the torture cuff company works, and then the torture cuff company funds ex-cops to become legislators and put more bills into committee that eventually become law that put officer safety over our rights. This is the entire reason why my channel is based on OTVO, Overturn Terry versus Ohio. And this is the reason why I openly say that I despise most cops. They are bought men, they are looters, and they are robbers. They are following policies and legislations where they turn off their brain, and the policies and procedures are despicable, inhumane, and barbaric. It's unprincipled, and it's wrong, and it's all being done for money, and it must change. If you are willing to print the truth about me, then I will do an interview with you from this dungeon. How come you haven't covered that Ann Zimmerman doesn't put people in jail for obstructing, and she put me here? I don't want to consider that we are dead in this country and that media is dead in this country and bought and paid for by politicians. However, it's getting worse and worse every day. It's time that the messages that I teach, the ideas that I espouse, are taught in the mainstream. I love people, life, children, and the sun. I don't belong in this dungeon. I'm innocent. I'm completely innocent. I ask now that the people listening to this petition the court, write on a piece of paper to release DeCastro now in the name of justice. You simply send it to Clark County Courthouse, care of Ann Zimmerman. I believe it's 200 Lewis Avenue,